Greetings, family. Welcome to Magnus Crystal's Pyramids. We're going to start shortly. We're actually starting now. It's 8 o'clock, Wednesday, June 24th. Let me make sure I got everything correct. Um, this is supposed to be live. Yes, Master Yao Morris. And tomorrow we're going to have our esteemed guest, Jeff Noble, if he stays awake, because sometimes he might nod off. he nodded off last week, so we're going to have him tomorrow. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let's do the opening. Let's start with the opening first. Here we go. It's going to be a good show. Hold on. Oh, I got to find all the videos. Where's the videos? Last time we were here, we had the pool party, and boy, was that amazing. Fun. Here we go.
Out a call to the warrior in you, to the healer in you, the king, the queen, the magician, the lover in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that holds you back and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere. It's right in your face. Let's go.
Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids.
Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. So, I always like to start the show by saying thank you for being born. Thank you for being alive. Remember, we are energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. We could just raise our frequency, vibration, and hopefully good intentions. With that being said, you are eternal. We are eternal. So we first say, yes, I am forgiving all my past lives and ask everybody forgive me. Most of all, I forgive myself. And yes, I am forgiving all my future infinite possibilities, and I ask my future possibilities to please forgive me. Most of all, I forgive myself, because we want to keep our hearts light as a feather. So we thank and invite Yahshua, Mary Magdalene, Black Madonna. We thank and invite Arset, Imhotep, Ptahotep, Akhenaten. We thank and invite Saint Germain. We thank and invite latest Christ born in the Congo, Simeon Toko, and Sheikh Amadou Bamba. Now, Sheikh Amadou Bamba walked on water, bulletproof, hungry lion proof, giant bonfire proof, wrote 7 tons of prayers. Some of them were so strong, they buried them in the ocean. Simeon Toko invoked the army of muscle bound, bulletproof, afro wearing, dreadlock wearing angels to flip over the terrorist Belgians that was in the Congo. That's one of the miracles that Simeon Toko did. Okay, so we thank and invite to protect Archangel Michael. We ask that you surround and protect all our family, friends, and loved ones, and all of us who practice healing energy work. I highly recommend whatever form of energy exchange you are doing, whether you're getting ready to eat your dinner, you always, family always taught to say your grace. So when you're getting ready to do healing work, ask Archangel Michael to protect you and the person. So we thank and invite Archangel Michael, Angel of Healing, Archangel Raphael, Angel of Strength, Archangel Gabriel, Angel of Knowledge and Enlightenment, Archangel Uriel. We thank and invite Enoch the Ethiopian, who ascended into the heavens and became Metatron. We thank and invite Sanat Kumara, Nikolai Tesla, Harriet Tubman, Lady Buddha, Lady Krishna. We thank and invite South African Zulu shaman Credo Mutwa. We thank and invite here in the Americas P.B. Randolph, Frederick Douglass, El Haj Malik El Shabazz, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We thank and invite Chief Nat Turner, Chief John Brown, Harriet Tubman. If I said it, I'm going to say it again. Mary McLeod Bethune, Ida B. Wells, all the goddesses who paved the way for make better tomorrows starting today for us. We also thank and invite Chief Geronimo, Chief Osceola, Chief Crazy Horse, Chief Sitting Bull. We thank and invite White Buffalo Calf Woman, Quetzalcoatl, Tahuti. We thank and invite Shishat Asar to be with us tonight. Great Divine Director, Master Himalaya, all the Ascended Masters from Orion Star System, Dogon Star System, Palladian Star System, Andromeda Galaxy, so that we may have a planetary coup of golden enlightenment upon all the surface dwellers on our planet. Yes, Nuke Poo Nuke, I am magic force having a golden coup of enlightenment upon every man, woman, child in the Americas and throughout the world. Seen and unseen, known and unknown, human and non-human. And with that being said, we say Ashe, Mahalo, Donada, Wado. So let it be spoken, so let it be done. And without further ado, we are bringing on Master Yao. Welcome, brother. Good to see you again.
Absolutely pleased.
Yeah,
couldn't
man.
be more pleased to be here today.
Oh, I got your message, and I gotta put up the pictures. That was some nice graphics. I had to divide it into two pieces. And I want to give a special thanks to all the practitioners who have been taught, inspired, and guided by Master Yao. Whether your students follow protocol etiquette and say thank you and acknowledge you. This is my Tantra teacher, Master Yao. Okay. And I thank you for all the time and energy that you put forth in training us. Because, a lot of us have broken protocols. We don't know how to turn around and say, thank you for all those who prepared before me. And I want to say first, thank you to my teacher. How many of your students come back and say to you, students of color, oh, Master Yao, thank you for teaching me the ABCs of energy?
About half, but it's all good.
You hear that?
I'm happy for those half.
We got a long way to go. The half that didn't come back, they're suffering from Willie Lynch-itis. Y'all know what Willie Lynch-itis is? If you haven't called them back and said thank you for your teachings, you are suffering from Willie Lynch-itis. Now, what you want to say about that, Master Yao?
Nothing.
I didn't even know I was going to say that.
I was just nothing. I'm moving past it. I've only got positive stuff to focus on tonight.
Yeah,
positive stuff.
Oh yeah, that's positive. Sometimes we got to do shadow work because everything ain't peaches and cream. I think it was a quote I just saw by Carl Jung. He said, "For the branches of a tree to reach into heaven, the roots have to be well dug deep into the flames of hell." I never knew that. That was a profound quote. A strong tree whose branches reaches into heaven, its roots reach into the depths of hell. I was like, whoa, if that ain't the truth. So whenever you listen, go ahead, brother.
I was just going to say, when we talk about that work and the visuals and those kind of things, I don't know if your audience really knows, but Hank is pretty daggone talented when it comes to all that stuff. And he's done some stuff with me, as you'll see tonight, that attest to his talent. And so I want to acknowledge that tonight, that I was a little taken aback when I saw some of the things he was capable of doing with uh, with the visuals and things like that. I mean, he stood up there and wrote a song. I was like, okay, all right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some people that's slacking a little bit, but we give them grace because of the times. But we just surrounded by so many people that's, in spite of the struggles happening in the world today, are just, I think they make the creator proud.
Man, you sound like a gentle. That sound like that's a very gentle, wisdom saturated commentary you just did there. You know, they would call you gentle grandpa. You know, I ain't there yet. That's some gentle grandpa stuff you dropped there. Okay, well, if Junior hasn't called me yet, I'm sure he's busy. You know, that's some gentle grandpa stuff there, Master Yao. Oh, you got a nice. Oh, you know what? I think I need to trim this. Hold on. Let me take this out because I want to polish it up for you. I thought I had it trimmed better. Let me send it again. How did you get into energy work, Master Yao? Please share that with us.
By accident, I guess. I when I was doing a Mamra and touching base with all of these healers and whatever, they were telling me about all these systems, so many that it's confusing now, or it was then. And after a while, I began to see the outlines of certain systems, one of them being the tantric system of energy work. I saw all these pieces. I started putting them together and I realized I had a full system there. And so then I went back to the ancestors of those systems and we made contact and got more accurate information. I realized that almost none of the systems were, that once they were first introduced, they morphed into something much more advanced in time. 100 years after most of the systems came through, they changed appreciably. And so I realized that. And so a lot of the stuff had decayed and become corrupted over time. I saw all of the war that religion had waged against healing, human healing. And so I introduced a system, and what we discovered was that before we could do all the good tantric pleasure stuff and the energy, mind expanding stuff, almost, most of the people, a large percentage of the people had to be healed to some extent first. And so we got into the healing business. Wasn't the plan.
Wow. So he was being guided. That's what it sounds like to me. Into your fulfilling your destiny. That's amazing. And what did you say the first thing was called? A mandala?
A mamara.
What is that? I never heard it. I heard it, but I don't.
Well, I know I've talked about that on this program. So what are you talking about, Hank? You never heard of that before.
You got new people. And I got a little bit of amnesia. New people, and I got a little amnesia.
So let's see if we can make it quick.
Mm-hmm.
In 1990, actually in 1989, I was in the practice of doing these end of year winter solstice thing, 4 days, sometimes more. Fasting and meditations and all kinds of weird stuff and one of them, that was like beings there. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
And they were chastising me because I wasn't doing enough. It's like, they were kind of pointing the fingers at me like, you're a little trickster. You don't want to tell nobody. You got all this information and you're keeping it to yourself and you don't want to give it to nobody. You don't even want to tell anybody that you're doing this stuff. I was like living like a double spy life. It's like,
You was like,
and
but the spook by the door.
yeah, kind of. So they were like, well, you need to go out here and talk to all these people that are fading from the earth, get all the information that they will share with you, archive it up, and then start just writing it up, distributing it, and that's what you need to do if you really want us to keep sharing all this stuff with you. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like,
Mm.
these people don't want to know this stuff. These people don't have no interest in this stuff at all. And they were like, oh, that's how you're going to be, huh? So about 3 months later, they just blew up my apartment. They blew up, they severed my income stream, blew up my apartment, disabled my bank account. They just did
Whoa.
all, my girlfriend broke up with me and everything. So I was living this great life that I had cultivated, and they were just like a mad baby turning the table over, right?
Wow.
Not gonna do it. So, I was coming back from physical therapy. Well, first of all, there was a natural gas explosion. My apartment was basically just destroyed.
Wow. You literally
So,
got blown up.
so yeah, I was sitting at the wall where right on the other side of the wall is where the explosion occurred. So I'm sitting there. I don't remember what I was doing it. And the next thing you know, I'm like in like a fog. I'm like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't even know if I'm alive or not. Um, and for a while, I wasn't really sure because I woke up a couple of times. At least I think I did. And they were, digging me out and putting me in. Eventually, they put me down into an ambulance. I think. To be honest, I don't really know what happened. I saw some things. Um, I don't really exactly know what happened. I just
Mm.
know that, I was in like a fog. I remembered seeing this vision of the future and all of these bad things happening, and that if people didn't do something, not good. So it's almost like, somebody needed to help out with some of this stuff. So that's how Amamara started. So that was this. It's hard to say, but there was just things happening that were really kind of weird, and all of these people started coming to talk to me or inviting me to come to talk to them. So I was going all over the place, Africa, South America, and a lot of them were coming to me, or they would show up, and I would know who they were. A lot of times, I would take these trips. I didn't know the person I was going to see. They would just say, well, you need to go to, this island or this place or whatever, and find this person there that's going to help you. And so for 7 years, I did this kind of stuff. I was all over the place. A lot of weird things happened during that time. And all of these people came to me, or I came to them, and they knew that they were supposed to work with me. Don't ask me how. And I knew that I was supposed to work with them. And
Wow.
I just met them, spent time as long as they would give me, and I wrote down everything that I could think about. Sometimes it was 2 or 3 days. Sometimes, I stayed in touch with them for a couple of months. But all of them were dying, basically. Not immediately, but they were all up in years, and they were all holding on to very, very special knowledge that they didn't tell nobody about, which was the same thing I was doing. So they basically jacked me. They were
Wow.
basically like, okay, you're holding all these secrets and you don't want to tell nobody nothing. So we're gonna make you go around and get all the other people around the world that's doing the same thing you were doing, and now
Mm.
you're gonna have to be the librarian kind of thing. So I was like running around trying to figure out, what was this person going to tell me about? And all of that after 7 years, it added up to a lot of stuff. And one of the things, the healing was part of it. Um, it seems like a dream now, to be honest with you. That happened in 1990 when the Amamara Project started. And now it seems like a dream. It doesn't even seem like it really happened. Because I really should write a book about that 7 year journey. I really should, because most people, they just wouldn't even believe that stuff. I mean, it's like, I don't even believe it.
That sounds amazing. That really does.
It was amazing. It was absolutely.
You know what you just made me think of in these in the energy that's happening right now, Master Yao. You already know, and we've had conversations. What just hit me? Let me. I'm gonna make the screen come full size. Holding grudges opens holes in our aura. Does that make sense? Leaves holes in our aura. Holding grudges, family, will leave a hole in your aura, like leaving your front door unlocked and then going to bed. I don't know where that, Marcial, you got somebody with you, because I had never thought of no stuff like that. What do you think of that?
I got a lot of people with me.
Yeah.
That's no joke, for real. That's a
I
lot.
remember.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you got folks giving you accolades in the chat, man. I want to acknowledge those who are here. 0825 Ross, peace to all from Rex, Georgia. Rebirth of Wisdom, thank you. Peace and blessings from Lawrenceville, Georgia. You got Georgia in the house.
Georgia in the house.
Yeah. Garden Art says love, peace, excited to join everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Thank you, Garden Art. We got Cosmic Earth Priestess saying peace. And then we got Fire Sekhmet Fire Goddess. Greetings, Brother Ankh and Master Yao. Thank you. I am sunlight, love and divine. Yeah, you got folks listening in on you. Sign persona, peace family. She said, agreed that. Yeah, Master Yao. Because I'm starting to see, it seems like even on social media, people are losing their rabbit ass minds.
About 4 years ago, after COVID and stuff, I kind of gradually cut social media loose. I'm gradually getting back. It kind of, I don't really want to, but we had Facebook, we had all that stuff. We had
yeah, that's right. Facebook.
Instagram and all that stuff like that. We were, we had a good presence there back prior to 2020. And now I still have a Facebook account, but I haven't been on there in 6 months. And I have somebody that has a account in my name and some of the other things, Instagram thing, but I don't actually have I don't have any accounts really, except YouTube maybe, if you call that social media. But we're getting ready to get into it more, because you have to stay in touch with people. You have to try. And it's hard. I mean, it seems like people have just lost their minds. It's like
you think so?
I mean, something has happened to them, because
what makes you say that?
When I interact with people now, they be saying stuff and they be telling me stories, and I'm like, if I didn't know this person better, I would think they were lying. That couldn't have happened, but I know that it is happening, and I know some of the stuff it's just really, really hard to believe some of the things that's happening. And that, that is probably going to get a little bit worse before we've finished this transformation. But at the same time, sometimes you just can't help but laugh, because it's like,
you're right.
It's like, wow, what else can we do?
Mm-hmm. I was just riding my bike back home before the show, and I'm seeing things I never seen before. Like, I saw this, she looked like an African woman at the train station exit, sitting at the train on the ground at the train station exit, eating as if she's at a restaurant. And I never seen that before. Usually the Africans, they be about their business, but I'm seeing mental illness, I believe in at least our community is at least 90%. And that's from a sister who's into mental health care. She's a mental health practitioner. So I said she came to get an amulet because she says she's picking up so many cross currents from patients, and she wanted to protect herself. So she got the protective amulet. But I asked her, I said, what do you think the percentage of mental illness in the woke community or the, people of color community? She said,
It's high. It's high, Frank. I mean, Hank, it's high.
She said it's over 90%. It's over 90%.
Let me shout out to Melissa Lewis, Dr. Candace, and Sean Twelve, who keep me grounded on the mental health thing. We had a few months back. We had a little thing on my podcast where we tried to tackle the whole mental health thing in our community, both the age community and the Black community. And indeed, the reports were, stunning. I mean, what the people in that mental health thing, what they were telling us, it was as bad as we thought and worse.
Yeah.
Kind of put a nice face on it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's rough out there. They're struggling. I tell you, I have struggled myself personally with negative feelings more in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Myself personally, where, you just start to feel negative about something, that you really don't need to feel negative about because it's all a, projection anyway. And you find yourself just feeling, just not depressed, but just a little bit almost like overwhelmed. That's not the right word. That's not the word I'm looking for, but you just feel like you're kind of underneath a bunch of stuff laying on top of your head and you get it off, and then you shake it off and you get back to where you were before. But it's just like, I can see how people can so easily get caught up in all of this stuff. And if they've got any kind of mental illness thing going on, even a little teeny tiny thread, it just gets blown out of proportion. And then you get hit with the bills. You get hit, the boyfriend's gone
or the lack of a boyfriend.
Or your boyfriend's got a boyfriend instead of a girlfriend. And you're like, I thought me and you was like, and then you get like, okay, all that kind of stuff going on. And you're like,
Master Yao, what you just said is so true. I had taken a nice bath soak before bed, and I had taken off my beads, my acacia beads, and my amulets. And I was laying in the bed, and all these weird frequencies. And I live across the street from cell phone towers, so I'm always mindful of that movie with Samuel Jackson being the bad guy that was messing people up with the frequencies through the cell phones, called Kingsman, and the movie called Cell. And they were saying that. You saw that, right? And,
I saw that. Yeah.
And their frequencies is underlying frequencies that they would literally send out to agitate and push people who are borderline crazy over the edge. And I had one time a sister came to Nicholas and she said, I had a strange experience. And family, if y'all could relate, put it in the comments. She said she had come out of meditation. I think she was on Hancock and Throop in Bed-Stuy. And she said she was walking down Hancock and she was in her peaceful Zen zone. And she turned the corner onto Throop. And she said in several paces, she said she started having all of these violent, agitated thoughts, like inundating her mind. And she said, but I wasn't feeling that way on Hancock Street. And now I'm on Throop and I'm feeling like it's almost like external energy was like agitating her. I got to acknowledge y'all folks here. You got folks all the way from Chi-Town. Thank you, Brother Sabil. This is a brother here, is a deep mystic. Greetings, Brother Sabil, Chicago. Glad you joined us tonight. Sekhmet Fire Goddess says, zombie juice did a number. And this journey is not for everyone. That's a funny way to put it. Boy, oh boy. When they put us on lockdown, that's when you really saw the freaks come out at night and day. You know, it became like that. So thank you, Sekhmet Fire Goddess. Yeah. I'm just here so Master Yao doesn't find me. Loki, Stormbringer. That is too funny. That is too funny. And Sekhmet Fire Goddess said, I recently started sleeping with an Archangel Raphael pendant on all the time now, along with my crystals daily. Yeah. Devi Hadonis says, peace to the family. And this is Lavarius from Mississippi, Master Yao.
Know him well.
Wow, you know folks everywhere.
No, not like I used to.
Peace of love, Master Yao. This is your humble student, Dr. Gabriel.
Oh, yeah. That's a bad brother right there. Yeah.
All right.
He's out there doing the thing.
Oh, shoot. Look at this. Yes, I felt that when I go down to 125th Street versus being in the Bronx and Brooklyn. We're under frequency attack. We're literally, yes, we are under. Master Yao, you wear crystals?
Sometimes. I work with them all the time, but I don't wear them all the time. I am a crystal.
Facts. Facts.
I do work with them, absolutely.
You know, certain shows, my cat wants to sit right next to me as if he's all up in the conversation like we're at a barbershop. He is sitting right here, right now, listening. You know, and I just saw this special that talked about cats are not even from this planet. They're extraterrestrial beings. So for all the cat owners, everybody who has a cat, a tiger, a moon cat, or what do you call it? A Maine Coon cat, or a panther, or a puma, salutations to you. Loki says, I like the video, and we're going to play it. But before we do, I got these flyers up now, Master Yao. You could tell us, what do you have here?
Can I hit the one from Thailand first, right? So,
yeah.
You know, we've been giving the sisters the alley-oop for years. And now, you know, I need for them to start acknowledging stuff because we got a few brothers in the group that are looking for some sisters to go with them to this event. This is in November. You know, we're doing more stuff internationally now. And this is going to be the bomb diggity. I mean, we're going over there to Thailand. We're going to stay for like 8 days. And this place is absolutely phenomenal. I can't say it.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yes, it is. That doesn't even do it justice. We're going to be 7 days intensive where we're going to just walk people through the entire process of table work and all of the secrets of Tantra. And away from there, walking on water, basically. So, and, you know, some of the brothers are definitely saying, you know, they're heading on over there. They're starting to get their bank together now. And they want some sisters. They want some, you know, I mean, I think a couple of these brothers are willing to, you know, make sure the sister's way is smooth so that she can do it. I know a few of the brothers that's talking about going over there. So, you know, I'm ready to do the alley-oop. You know, I'm going to throw the ball up there, but the sisters be looking at me and the ball just be going past their head.
Wow.
They better get it together so either some of these brothers can take them or they can take themselves and meet the brothers over there, because this is a perfect opportunity to make a life connection.
Now, this is the second half of your flyer.
Yes, yes. It's all kinds of stuff. It's going to be organic. I mean, we're just going to be doing everything that you can imagine. We're going to do the Tantra stuff, of course, but we're going to be doing some other things. There's going to be a little crystal work in there, some interaction with some of the locals on some of their history and culture and whatever. But we're going to spend a minimum 30 hours, just personal guidance through the table work.
Wow.
All of the things that go with it. So it's just, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we're going to be doing this kind of stuff overseas more and more, where we just get out of this country, and you just find your partner, your husband, boyfriend, somebody you want to get to know better, and you like drop the little hint. I'm thinking about going. You thinking about going? Whatever. And so we're throwing that alley-oop up there because I know we got some brothers in the group now.
Okay, well, you got more comments here. I got to put them up. Put them up acknowledging Segment Fire Guard. It says meow. Oh, that's funny. And then you got another amazing by design NPN. Ooh la la.
And get that alley-oop, sister, and tip it on in.
And then you got Mahogany Essence saying, "Good evening, everyone."
There you go. There you go.
And Loki Stormbringer said, "I need to get my freedom papers to leave Mississippi to get to Thailand." Your freedom papers.
You're gonna need your passport.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. But this is like you're gonna be walking on water for real when you come up out of there. When you come back home, we ain't gonna even talk about it. It's gonna be on the property. But we're gonna go above and beyond that, because this year, this August, is the 18th anniversary of this book, Awakening the Master Feminine.
It's been time flies. Wow.
I talked to you earlier, Hank, about this book, how, when I was trying to write this book, that they wouldn't really let me write it. They're like, you're too masculine, you're too stubborn, and you're too hard-headed to write this book. You gotta loosen up and get into that female vibe more. So I had to really work with 4 of the female deities for a good little time to get prepared so that they would, kind of let me write it.
That's interesting that you say that, because what pops in my head at this moment is Bruce Lee saying, "Be like water, my friend."
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go ahead.
No, you.
And then I see they have this tool now that really like supercharges, puts a lot of pressure on water till it cuts through diamond, and the water cuts hard as steel, just slices through it like hot butter. So it makes me wonder, is water really feminine, or is water more like ethereal? Because after seeing water cut through the hardest metal and slice through diamonds, it's like, is water feminine, or is water just ethereal, materialized? I don't know.
The real deal for water is the heavy water they use in the nuclear reactors. The H is H3O2. It's not just H2O. It's H3, and so it's they got extra heat, hydrogen molecules up in there some kind of way. I used to study that stuff a little bit, but I don't really know it like that. But I just know that they've got water that normally water can only absorb a certain amount of heat, and then it's giving it off its steam in the turbine that's turning the thing.
Yeah.
But they got the water so that it will actually absorb more BTUs before it will, turn to steam and give its energy back, so that the water, it's turning that turbine around, a certain amount of revolutions per minute based on the volume of the water going through there. But they've got that water so heavy that it will generate 2-3 times the energy transfer per gallon of water going through there, so that they can use the same amount of water in the reactor.
Wow.
They can use and get more energy transfer and more work out of it. So they've changed the water. And if you look into that, it really makes you wonder, what can these elements and these things do? What can the elementals really do? I mean, they get water to do stuff that's like this. The lady used to make water that could disinfect you inside. They, they shot her after she released that information.
God bless Dr. Mona Harris. I think
Yes.
that's who you're speaking about.
That's who I'm talking about. And she figured out how you can use water. She's like, says, I don't use anything but water to clean my counters, but it's a special kind of water. And it just has an ionization so that bacteria can't, it's like butter. Bacteria can't survive next to butter, most bacteria, because the butter has it's right in the middle, the exact middle of that hydrocarbon spectrum where it just goes right inside the outside membrane of the bacteria, and it just starts to separate, and it just all the insides just gush out, and it dies. And so it's like it's just a natural kind of thing that, butter, if it's really good butter made from cows, the old-fashioned way, it's just right at that frequency that most bacteria can't really survive there like that. If you just, if you take butter, you don't even have to put it inside a wrapper in the refrigerator. You can just leave it there because it pretty much stays for a long, long time. I mean, there's exceptions and stuff like that. But there are ways that you can treat water. So water is like that. And I wonder, some of these old avatars and holy men, if that's how they can stay so disease-free, is they change the water inside of them so that it's disinfectant like that.
Yeah. There was a movie, I never forgot it, and it's part of my inspiration. One of them was the movie years ago called Cocoon.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes,
And they had a pool of water, and the water was so charged up by these giant seeds that the young folks were getting young again. That was the first one. The second movie was Jupiter Ascending.
I've seen that too.
Yeah, and the lady was 50,000 years old. She said, look at what and then she started getting older. She looked like she was in her 50s or 60s. And then she went into the pool of water. And then they showed this ET, like spinning dials. And when she came out of the water, she looked like she was about 21. So I know what you're saying. Master Yao has a lot of depth. Family regeneration is water. And I bet you, I can only say it, the deepest magic, sorcery, alchemy is going to be with water. Water is going to be the alpha and omega. And special acknowledgement to Dr. Gabriel Oyibo, who says that the first element of creation is hydrogen. And that's what water is mostly. You know what I mean, Doc?
It's true.
Yeah, this is we in a lab zone tonight, bro. This is the lab zone.
So when we look at what happened with that, they're basically saying, if you're really going to write a book devoted to women, you really got to get into a feminine place. And I try to do that. And it taught me that a lot of my maleness blocks me from seeing certain things. So I had to really kind of try to correct that. And after I wrote the book, it took me a couple of years to get back to my old self, to lose that I don't know what you call it.
Yema Ya Oya Oshun.
No, I wouldn't say all of that, but I wasn't Oshun, no. I don't think Oshun's going to claim me, no.
Oh, that is funny.
But yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. But, you start to see that being a woman is just so different. It's just so, and you can understand why people just have all of this difficulty dealing with the opposite sex. It helped me a lot. But anyway, 18 years passed fast. And so, we're going to reawaken the divine feminine, the master feminine. through the book. We're gonna put out a separate after that. We're gonna put out a separate version of the book. I was even thinking about putting out a hardcover. I don't know. Tell me in the comments if you guys think a hardcover version of the book is something people would want to purchase. But the main thing, we got this course coming out in the end of July, early August. That's really just going to bring back all the stuff that we learned since we first put that book out almost 20 years ago. If you can imagine that. And so we're devoting this to women, and we're devoting this experience to celebrating some of the things that we've learned from the most advanced women in our classes.
Oh.
So we're basically, we're talking about showing women how to access more of this special stuff that some of the women seem to have access.
Now,
Because there's 4 archetypes: the seated hawk, the treasure chest, the rose, the elegant rose. And so, different women have been working, and in some cases it goes above and beyond what I knew. In some cases, the women, they went so far with what we told them, and then they figured out stuff there on their own to go a little bit further than that. And we just saw some amazing things that women were capable of doing once they got into this, what we call second puberty process. Allows them to bring these other attributes, these archetypes online. It's something that women do anyway. But when you kind of have a blueprint, and it's a little bit better, and a lot more stuff comes online. So we've seen that, and we want to celebrate that.
I don't know, Master Yao. I don't know with them cell phone radiation. I think there's the rise of Lilith's coming out. So what would Lilith fit in as far as that 4-frame categorization? Because the Liliths are running amok on social media, like going crazy, and
it's. I think that.
I'm
the
laughing
whole
at that.
feminist agenda is based on like a mental illness, more or less. But you have to look at this thing too. It's complicated. I think that everybody, male and female, are going through a very abrupt and raw transformation right now. And then you've got the broad spectrum of women that you got way over here. You got the new age women who are actually trying to develop their higher self to its fullest extent. And they're struggling to maintain that in this world. Then on the other hand, you've got the women that's trying to, celebrate all of the worst aspects of the feminine nature, and we just want to be, begging men or ripping men off or transacting this. And so you've got, never has there been such a gap between the women really trying to develop their goddesshood and the women who are just, basically parasites, basically
ratchet,
trying to replicate Western society. And so I don't think it's ever been as big a gap than now. And so,
I think maybe if Doc family, listen to this. What if the powers that be with their technology that they use through digital cell phone towers are tapping into, in order to depopulate the planet, they are, suppose there's a black ops program called the Rise of Lilith, where certain frequency bring out the demonic subatomic molecules with frequencies of cell phones. That would be another movie, man. What you think, Doc?
I don't
I
think
don't know.
I don't think you need all of that. They're trying to do stuff like that. Basically, humans are sabotaging themselves more than anybody. I mean, there is an alien agenda, whether people want to admit it or not. It's not a maybe. It's absolutely, definitely true. There is a demonic agenda that demons are absolutely positively real. I've faced them, but most of what's happening, humans are in control of it, and humans are the ones that's sabotaging themselves more than any of these other things. Um, they just, like you said earlier, they just refuse to do their shadow work.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
they come here and by the time they reach 25, they've got a lot of bad habits and they don't improve and they leave here in their 60s or 70s and they're the same basic human being that they were when they got here. They never improved.
Mm.
So, you know, I mean, the male female relationship thing is one of the best ways that we're forced to evolve. And yes, you've got um, right now people, the birth rate is so low now. You know, in the last 5 years, if it wasn't for all of the uh, migrants and people like that from outside of the normal community, our birth rate would be going down. And now that we kind of put the brakes on some of that other extracurricular stuff, men and women in the black community, or even men and women in the black community, are not hooking up as much as they used to. They're not producing as many babies as they need to. White community is even worse. They're just not hooking up as much as they need to sustain the population. And so, the whites are really, really worried about this. And some
Oh yeah.
are probably, like you say, doing some real crazy ass stuff as a consequence of that. I don't think the black community's concerned about it yet, but I can tell you that, somebody, I would say, first of most importantly, women need to really be concerned about this because brothers are disconnecting like by the tens of thousands, and a lot of the ones disconnecting, it's going to be hard for them to ever come back in this lifetime. I think we pretty much lost a couple of generations of men. Masculine energy
Mm.
have it. They're male in gender, and they might be black or they might be white or whatever. Let's say black, but I wouldn't consider them to be really masculine in terms of the way I define it. It's just like, especially here in Atlanta, that energy it's just not there for those two generations. And we're about to lose a third generation if women don't really stop doing some of the things that they're doing. Having said that, it's like you had this scenario that, as you say, is caused by something outside of our community that basically did not want humans to reproduce, not to
Right.
reproduce to. So there definitely is, as much as possible, interference with human reproduction. And there's been all kinds of psyops in that regard, but that all of that stuff really can't really do much if men and women don't cooperate with it. Um, it's gotten compounded now. And it's not a simple thing. It's layers to it because now women are going through a lot of issues where the men just have shifted I see it. And men have shifted like, wow, it's shocking me. It's shocking me. And so if you're a woman and you're used to men being this way, and then in a space of 3 or 4 years, they make a dramatic shift. Because I mean, it's been coming for the last 20 years, but in the last 5 years, it's taken a dramatic swing, and women don't realize that men have done this. I mean, because when they're talking to men, men are still talking to them kind of polite, kind of this, kind of that, and not really talking much about what's been happening to them. But men have made a shift of tectonic proportions, and it's continuing. And so the issue is that if you're a woman, now men aren't acting how you suspect, and you're trying to shift and trying to figure out, how do I live in this new environment? The ecology changed, but I still got to pay bills, raise kids, do this, gotta have sex, gotta get married, gotta, whatever, gotta do health stuff. And so the women are still trying to figure out, how do I do that? And a lot of the parents aren't training them. And their girlfriends are giving them bad information for the most part. A lot of women are struggling to just try to figure out, well, how do I navigate in this craziness? Because I wouldn't want to date some of these men. I'm telling you right now, these guys are cold-blooded now. They are. If they're over 40, it's not so bad. But if they're under 35, these brothers are cold-blooded.
Oh yeah, they're not co-signing. They're not co-signing.
They're cold-blooded, and then you have the whole mental health thing.
Yeah,
it's not just women; it's men that have issues that are. It's hard for me, even I meet some of them and talk to people about them. It's hard even to diagnose. 20 years ago, man, I could diagnose a brother I knew men like that. I could talk to him for 20 minutes, talk to some of his friends, and boom, assess the energy. If I can get some kind of Bhagwan knowledge, I know what's going on with this brother. Now, not with the younger ones. And I'm just thinking, if that's their interaction with me, another man, they're trying to hide stuff from women. Imagine if you're a woman and the brother's trying to hide what their real nature is from you. Man, that's got to be a dice game right there.
I want to bring your song. I want to play it because while you was talking, I used Chat GPT. I said, make your information rhyme. And what it did, it brought out the feminine that was inside the masculine presentation of your writing, Master Yao. And family, I want you to listen to this. This is Master Yao's writing that was given to Chat GPT to rhyme. And then we put it to some rhythm that was very healing. And let me just pull this up. Here it is right here. Was it short? Here it is right here. Let me just bring this up so that you can hear. This is Master Yao's writing.
Grand Trine opens the door to wisdom, beauty, and so much more. 18 years since the book first came, awakening the master, feminine rose to fame.
Within its pages, a secret lies, for sacred powers to help you rise. The moon that shines with gentle light, the elegant rose and beauty bright.
The seated hawk with vision clear, guiding your purpose year by year. The treasure chest of gifts untold, filled with wisdom more precious than gold. More precious than gold. More precious than gold. More precious than gold.
This course will help these forces away and bring bring the changes you wish to make. Instinct transforms to wisdom's grace. Desire becomes a manifested place. When a woman's form begins to bloom, her spirit fills the brightest room. The keys once hidden now appear, removing doubts, releasing fear. Life can leave its marks behind through wounds of heart and troubled mind. Covered each trauma, love, and pain can leave old patterns to remain. But when these archetypes align, they help your inner light to shine. A sacred reset, fresh and new, awakening the power within you. Beginning July 28th. Now is the time to elevate. Reawaken your master feminine flame. And never again remain the same. For just 449, begin your climb. And step into your power.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe there was inside your writing, ChatGPT pulled out the beautiful feminine message. And that's amazing.
No, Hank, you did that.
No, I didn't do it.
ChatGPT.
I flipped that thing so quick.
Hank worked on this thing last night, and he just pulled a hat. He just pulled a rabbit out of his butt.
Actually, it was from the front. Well, hey, Wabbit. In Elmer Fudd's voice, it's from the front.
Right. Well, Hank did that. Let's just be real, and he just made that thing. I mean,
I was listening to the words.
He used the chat GTP suggestions and stuff like that, but he just guided that thing to the point where it ended up like it did. That's just pure talent, because he did that. My script was bland as heck. It was dry and bland. No, none of that was no feminine in that script.
Yo, listen, let me tell you who inspired. I'm gonna tell you, your Shakti sisters got me going. The Jet Juice. I have to give acknowledgement to two that were giving me the Jet Juice yesterday. Yoko and your up and coming Candace. They were the ones who was giving me Jet Juice yesterday.
They were the ones that was pushing you.
They inspired me. Family, y'all haven't met these beautiful Nubian goddesses. You will. And of those who know. So I see so far in my limited observation, you bring out either, is it true? Let me phrase it. Do you bring out the best and the worst in the goddesses? Master,
No. You're trying to deflect. No. Yoko is just cute. And I think,
Yo, she radiates something plus cute, man.
I think that's what inspired you.
Special acknowledgement to Yoko and Candace. And she's listening. I don't know if Yoko is listening, but they inspired me yesterday.
Yeah, Candace is inspiring, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Wait till you meet her.
She was the one telling you she was helping you.
Man, it's her energy. It's her energy. It's her voice tone. You ever listen to Candace when she just free flows? She's like, let me put it poetically. She is liquid cacao with tones with how can I put it? Sensual tones of liquid cacao. That's her voice. Her voice is very healing when she's in her element. And I'm not saying she's there all the time, but there's moments, if you catch Candace at the right time, and also the times I've caught Yoko, there's this goddess energy that some part of your program. Special acknowledgement also. Another super feminine that got magic is Salika. And acknowledgement to all the goddesses who are truly blossoming in the chaotic waters of this life. Because I think the forces, the the evil forces want to try to stomp out the feminine principle, and they got a lot of ex mutants that's acting out on their agenda. But there is a substantial number of goddesses that's truly like rising through the frequency challenges and coming forth like cosmic lotuses. And it's really a blessing to have cosmic lotuses, and those three I just mentioned, and there's more. I try to surround myself with those cosmic lotuses to feed their energy. Their energy feeds me, and then I get inspired.
It's a struggle. And definitely, when I talk to some women, they're in a battle with the other sisters to try to,
Yeah.
pull everything up and to they recognize that, a lot of their problems come from the fact that some of their sisters toxic.
Yeah.
You, I've said for the last 20 years to men uh, in all of the different across the spectrum of classes, we've said to the men, you can't pee in the pond that you have to drink from. Stop.
So much for going to the beach.
Right. So stop. If peeing in the pond is, you're doing something toxic and stupid to one of these sisters out here that's making it hard. I mean, people got stuff that they're navigating that's part of the game.
Yeah.
If people are playing the game, they're playing the game.
You got
But
comments.
some stuff brothers do, it's just not necessary. It's just really, really uncalled for because it's just you're not gaining anything from it. I understand a lot of guys are out there trying to do what they're trying to do to get what they're trying to get. Hey, the game is the game. And a lot of sisters, they're doing what they're trying to do to get what they're trying to get. But they're getting something. There's a goal. There's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. But then you got people, they just doing stuff just to be mean, just to be evil, and they're not getting anywhere with it. And they're just peeing in the pond that everybody else has to drink from. And so, I say that. And the sisters are struggling. The ones that's trying to, try to get some of the other ladies out of here to help, renew the environment that we're living in. Because eventually this thing that we're in now is going to stop. It's not going to be like this forever. And probably 10 years or less, this period that we're in now, the planetary period, is going to stop for everybody on the planet. And we're going to be forced into a new age. I don't know this. That would be my projection that it's not going to last more than another 10 years. And then we're going to be thrust into a whole new situation that that we're going to have to adapt to. And so that at some point in time, whether people want to or not, men and women are going to have to start all over again and get used to each other and depend on each other. Right now, I mean, that's just not, men they can't depend on women.
Yeah.
You don't know, the laws and everything is set up. Divorce is pretty much inevitable. 73%, people ended up divorced now in their second situation, not even talking about the first one. And then, I mean, if you're trying to work, everybody thinks that they've got guaranteed income. No, you don't. People think that, this stuff is really, really tight. Well, no, it ain't. And people are finding that out. Men and women, it's like, it's just not guaranteed. And so I mean, if you're really trying to make it in this environment today, a lot of people are finding out if you're not mated with somebody, even if it's temporary, it's really, really hard. That's financially.
Yeah.
Once you look at that, then you, especially if you got kids, now the next thing is, you're looking at the whole emotional thing and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, how am I going to make this emotionally? A lot of women are not, men are doing better. Women are not. They're just, and we're going to talk about that a lot in the class, how to get into a situation to change that. But it's like, if you're trying to stitch this thing together and, juggle this life, you got a couple of kids, you're renting, you got a car, and you got to fix it or buy a new one. You got student debt.
Yeah.
That's just the big stuff. We're not even getting to all the then you got to take care of your parents. Your parents getting older. Kids trying to get you got a kid in public school. It's like your kid is walking through hell with gasoline drawers on.
Mm.
It's just one landmine after the other. And 50 years ago, you could rely on your partner. At least you could. Nothing else, they could console you. You got a lot now. They come home. A lot of women, they come home. There's nobody to console them. That is,
Speaking of landmine, you got some powerful comments in this. I'm gonna bring them up.
okay.
I got vacation time is what segment Fire Goddess said. Jeffrey Bays was talking about hydrogen therapy. Thank you. Much healthier. Hydrogen.
The water.
Yeah, the water.
Okay,
So much healthier for your body. Also from me, Mel's Joy 7. Thank you. Jeffrey Bay says, Water Everywhere is her book. That's Dr. Mona Harris.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What's her name again? Signed Dr. Mona Harris. And we're talking about hydrogen. Broman 7569 says, yes, we can. I buy the book. Where can I buy? I guess we're saying, where can we buy your book? And I'm going to pull up your website shortly. And let's thank you, Broman. Amazing by Design says, run it back, please. Thank you. Sandra, Goddess Sandra from Austin, Texas. You're welcome. And Botanical Brother says, the towers might be tapping into thoughts. Often after I've had a thought about a particular subject, YouTube displays a video suggestion for that or similar subject. Yeah, they got some technology.
It happens to me a lot.
Yeah. So that's why I think women are like, if they're not up on their keeping their skeletons washed out, they become multi-gate portals of chaos in the urban setting. You can't pull that off if you live in a country where you got to can up some apples. I think it's the urban setting with the crazy frequencies of the cell phone towers. Absolute Fire, thank you. Amazing by Design. I guess it's Salutations. They loving that your song for you, Mastial. Yo, love it. Let me see. My computer sometimes gets stubborn. Master Yao, you need to play that in the beginning of your podcast. Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Moorish Diaspora. And Sekhmet Fire Guy said that was beautiful. Master Yao brings the best out of Goddess CC22 art. Yeah. And then you have John Riddell. Girardu. What's up, Yao?
Big brother, big heavy duty, deep brother from the South.
Yeah, hey, bro. Accolades, acknowledgement. Garden Art says, shout out to the goddesses for supporting Uncle Unc. Thank you, goddesses. Yeah, I love all of you. Yeah.
Yes, definitely support Uncle Unc.
Yeah.
Hank, or whatever they're calling you.
Yeah, same thing, man, if you look at it. And I learned that from Brother Matu. He said, you know what Hank is? He said, that's Unc in the front instead of in the back. I was like, Matu, I ain't gonna never forget that. So yeah. Master Yah, I've noticed that you say I don't get along with women or certain women. You're labeled as you You're the problem. Why is that? Oh, you got a Sekhmet Fire Goddess got that question. You
She
want to
said,
touch
I've
that?
noticed if you say
Let me move the banner so you can
somebody,
read it.
if somebody says, I don't get along with women or certain women, you're labeled as you're the problem. Why is that? Well, uh, that's the society we live in today. I mean, I don't think most people are getting along with most people, but definitely a lot of men feel that way, that getting along with women is very, very difficult because I mean, there's so much going on. So many women making it hard to get along with them that it makes it, they put that label on all women. And so they think that, okay, if it's been hard for me to get along with women in my last three relationships, I'm probably not going to get along with any woman. And it's just not true. Um, then you got women out here trying to get along with men that they can't get along with. I mean, we talked about some of these dynamics that are going on. You know, you got, okay, if you're a woman and you're trying to make it, well, you're behind the eight ball because some of the other women out here aren't making it easy for you. Then the most attractive women, the most desirable women today are they're only checking for the top 10% of the men. So, you're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. If 90% of the men are being downgraded and to the point that, they're just not getting the same treatment for women, it's going to create a profound problem down the road. And right now you got 90 to 80% of the men who are feeling like second class citizens because women are looking for that top 10% or they're not going to give you that first rate treatment. Brother told me, he said, a lot of women are mad today because the man that they're with wasn't their first choice. And he said, most women today, 2026, who are in relationships, it's not the man that they want to be in a relationship with. And that's creating a whole lot of stuff because that second guy, that guy who's he's the placeholder, he's there, she's in a relationship with him, but in her heart of hearts, she's really not completely satisfied. She's like, I feel like I gave up something or like I gave in because he's not the guy I really want to be in a relationship with. But you go back and you look at it and you have to ask that question. If 100% of the women are with this ideal guy that they think that they deserve to be in a relationship with, what about the other 80, 90% of the men? What are they going to do? And so then you've got the women who are saying, okay, well, I couldn't get with that top 10% guy, even though I feel entitled to him. I couldn't get him. So now I'm with the guy in the 60 percentile or the 50 percentile. And they're not happy there. They're just not happy with that guy. And so when you look at this, you got to say to yourself, okay, well, who has the problem here? Is it the men who are not measuring up to that top 10% standard? Are they at problem? Is it the women who feel entitled to that top 10% guy and can't get him? Then you got the select brothers, the brothers at the top of the hierarchy, acting like a fool beast, a beast of a fool. Because these brothers, I used to hang out with them. They're demonic. they're demon lovers. They don't care nothing about a woman. They're basically they're after pussy, pure and simple. And they have no regard for a woman. Women mean nothing to them. It doesn't matter if she's a 10, if she's beautiful, if she's gorgeous, if the pussy is nectar, it does not matter. They don't care about women. And then some of these men, they're angry with their mother. They were raised by single mothers that didn't treat them right, they weren't available. I'm telling you, you get these brothers out here, they got the look, they got that 6'2", dark black skin, muscles, and deep voice and everything. And I can rattle off the names of 20 of them right now, and so quick. And women just melt. And those brothers don't care nothing about a woman. Nothing. They will tell you in a heartbeat how little you mean to them. And I mean, some of them will, say what women want to hear for a while to get what they want to get, but those brothers, they are running around here making babies. They have no intention of doing anything with them. They're running around here making bills they have no intentions of paying. They're running around here acting like, that there's a possibility that they're going to be a man in a relationship. They're not going to man up in no relationship. But they're skilled at keeping women coming just enough. But you're not going to get what you want. I'm going to keep you coming. I'm just going to keep you coming just enough. And so that's why it is.
That sounds like a church or a bank account.
I'm telling you, it's like, so you ask the question, I can't get along with women. Well, how can you possibly, you can't get along with women. Of course not, you can't.
Mm.
And,
okay.
And that's not saying anything about that particular woman. Because if she didn't have the experience and the history that she had, well, maybe you could get along with her. Because some brother in the past peed in the pond.
Mm.
You got some brothers out here that are habitual peers in the pond. They spent their whole life peeing in the pond. And they don't care that it's messed up the whole water system and now nobody can drink. They don't care. They don't care.
Wow.
And of course, when you say, well, why are women like that? Why are women out here? They only want to deal with the archetypal, brother that meets all of the criteria plus the select man. That's all they want to deal with. They don't feel happy if they're not. Well, they gotta understand you gotta come up with a better system than that. That's not going to work. And brothers cannot police these brothers out here that are players that think that they're sent from heaven. We can't police them because we don't have anything to reprimand them with, to punish them with, because women give them everything that they want all the time, repeatedly. So people got to have some discipline.
I remember you sharing with us. Hold on a second. This comment, I just got to put this up because this is powerful right here. Don't forget, Archangel Uriel is called the psychiatrist angel. Help heal thoughts, emotion, clears toxins. Thanks a lot for that. Hadassan 29. That's interesting. I never knew that. Master, I remember you sharing with us years ago that your program would activate women's supernatural magnetic femininity. And some of them, and this reminded me of the movie Hancock. Did you see that with Will Smith? Your program activated the supernatural feminine faculties of women, and they were able to lock into relationships. They had supernatural abilities to change the whole world, but they decided to live like Lois Lane or like the woman in the Hancock, who was a supernatural woman, but she make believe she was a frail, feminine housewife. Share
Give
with
me
us
1,000 women, and I can change any city of the size of New York City. I can change it in 3 years. But women have to be willing to do certain things. We don't have that because those women, all of their energy is being put into negative things. If they could get men to support them, and the system, what they call the patriarchy, that doesn't really exist. But the system that we do have, whatever we want to call that system, it's designed in every way, shape, or form for people to fail. It's never been designed to help society. You know, society is created to make society suffer. So, you know, women create a new reality all the time. And the reality that they are creating, it's negative manifestation. And black women are as good as it. I'm not going to say that they're better than white women. They're about equal, but they're negative manifestors. They're constantly manifesting a negative situation. And, you know, in order for them to switch up and do the opposite, then they've got to have a man or men, starting with their father, that's going to allow them to do that. So when you start the cocoon process, then you take a woman, she has to be taken out of the situation that she's in today. First thing, you got to isolate women from all the poison that's out there now. Then she's got to be sexually satisfied beyond what most men are doing. Most men are not sexually satisfying women. Let's be real. They're just not. And I mean, if they wanted to, it's possible, but they don't, their interest is not there. So then the next thing, you know, she can't be worried about so many financial things. That's difficult to do based on the corporate scenario today. How are you going to do it? But she's got to be isolated from all of this stuff out here. And then, you know, she's got to be retaught. She's got to unlearn all the stuff that she's learned. In that scenario where she is in a cocoon, women can get to that place where their frequency is creating the kind of reality that's positive. 1,000 women like that, they will begin to put a force out here that's going to start changing reality in such a powerful way that corporations, governments, and people are going to have to get in line and do what they say. And they would create a reality that would be paradise.
Wow.
And that would definitely happen. But, you know, and we have seen individual women get into that frequency, into that vibe, and start to move in that direction, right in Grand Trine. So we've seen women actually start that path of becoming a goddess, a true, real goddess. We've seen that it's possible. But
I remember you told me.
But the metrics of it doesn't work. I mean, today, there's just a teeny tiny amount of women like that. And there's gobs of, you know, just
general population.
the you know, the women who are, everything is fake. It's not just the eyelashes, the whole persona, everything. The person, there's really no woman there. It's all a fake thing. There's nothing real about it.
Let's look at your website.
Yes, sir.
I want to pull this up because this is an impressive website. Here we go. Tell us about it, Doc. Let me just scroll to the top. What are we looking at right here?
That's the icon of the book, the woman on the cover of the book, Awakening the Master Feminine. And what it's showing is the woman is coming up out of the water. And it means she's coming out of her subconscious into her, to becoming the woman she wants to be. So most of her is still under the water. Most of her hasn't evolved yet. It hasn't come forward yet. And we see around her, you know, the lily pads and the flowers representing the deities helping her, you know. And so it's basically talking about a woman blossoming. And so, you know, you see that in the website. Then we got homepage and all that stuff like that. You see the Activate the Divine Feminine. That's the class that's just coming up. Then we can talk about the Tantra system a little bit, which has always been a favorite of folks. We have a podcast, the Extraordinary Podcast, that on Thursday nights, And we talk about just about everything we can. And we try to get as freaky and as fringe and out on the extreme and talking about stuff other people don't talk about as much as we can. And, and then about Grand Trine and whatever. Grand Trine, has been around for a while now. I mean, the actual business has been around since 1996, actually. The actual business that started out as a book publishing thing. It's changed a lot over the years. Grand Trine itself, in terms of the classes and whatever, started up in 2010. And in Baltimore, Maryland. We didn't start in Atlanta. I think the first from 2010 to 2018, I think we were in Baltimore. I'm not exactly sure. And another thing, we practiced privately before Grand Trine came into existence. I practiced with several groups of people in several different eastern cities. Prior to that, we had we did tours, and we had private groups that we were in. A lot of the work that we were doing before Grand Trine came into existence was private clients that paid me to help man and a woman link up their sexual lives and become compatible. In other words, men and women would pay me so that they would have the most compatible sexual relationship possible. So they would know what their different astrology was and try to work out their problems so that their relationship would be, reach its capabilities. And we did a lot of that prior to Grand Trine coming into existence. And there was a big market for that in the North where we were at. The program that we've done for the last 17 years, that really kind of makes a lot of stuff possible. It's called Second Puberty. So when we talk about these 4 archetypes of the woman, most women, they don't have, when they go through puberty the first time, they don't get all of the benefit of getting those archetypes online. And so our society is designed to stop them. And the people that stop them is your minister, your parents, your peers, and the people writing the magazines and making the TVs. They're the ones who stop your archetypes from coming online. And that's the beginning of the woman's problems. Once you start helping her to get those archetypes online, and she starts to line up her energies, a lot of the stuff that's bothering her starts to fade. And it's difficult because there's layers of stuff. But a lot of that mental illness stuff starts to fade away. When she starts bringing her archetypes online, a lot of stuff becomes easier. Being a mother, if you get your moon stuff online, being a mother becomes so much easier. The elegant rose is the most difficult archetype for the woman, and the one that women have the greatest problem with. But the elegant rose, when she gets it online, her sexual life is a piece of cake, and her creativity comes full online, and she just starts to be able to fix a lot of things just with that archetype right there that she thinks that she can't fix. The seated hawk.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
So I was going to say the seated hawk is probably the most misunderstood of her archetypes, and basically is talking about her control method for her energy body and her light body. So a lot of women have the ability to control these things, what we call supernatural or psychic or occult kind of things. And so women do the elementary versions of these things. They do roots and they do this, and they do that. But, there's a whole science to this thing. And that that seated hawk faculty, when she brings that online, that changes the game. That's a game changer. And basically, it really allows her to influence people without lifting her finger. So a lot of women, they default to the chemical thing, with the roots and the this and the that and all of that kind of stuff. That's like that the Obia magic that blood magic and things like that. But when you start going up the ladder, you really start getting into the fact that the woman, her ability is to do these things with her consciousness, right? And a lot of people don't want that to happen. They, the different religions and it have all killed the women like that who became very adept at it. So, in the Christian church, they labeled them as witches and they basically burned them because you can't talk about Christianity with evolved women around because they can do these things that you consider miracles.
Yeah.
And they can see into the other realms. So they know all of this stuff about God and whatever that you're saying is bullshit. I mean, so the ancestors are in the 5th dimension and we are in the 3rd dimension because we are in one of the most dense dimensions because that's how you can really test yourself against time and space. Once you get into the 5th dimension, time and space is flexible, fluid. So the ancestors don't live in a place similar to this where tomorrow's going to come at 12:01 a.m. You know this. And if you're an ancestor, that's not the case. Eventually, you're going to get to another time period or another framework of time, but it's not like here where it's 1 minute follows the next and the next. It's not like that. And your location, if you're an ancestor, it's not fixed like here, where I'm in this room. And when I finish this podcast, I'm going to be in this room. The room is not going to sort of like float away. If you're in the ancestor world, well, yeah, your location is not fixed like that. It's fixed to an extent, but it's easily changed. And you don't have to travel like you do here necessarily. There is a movement, but it just doesn't fit the same physical laws that it does here. So when women see into those other realms, like from sex and DMT, then they're immune to understanding. I mean, they're not going to fall for the okie doke. Religion is meaningless now.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tell them who Christ is because they can talk to Christ and do and still are. So you can't say, well, Shiva is this or that because they can go and see Shiva and see, say, well, Shiva, what is that? If you got a Native American medicine man and he's this, that, and the other, well, you go and you find him and you ask him, did you do this in the 1800s when you were on Earth? And he will tell you, I did or I didn't. So it's a different dynamic when the seated hawk comes online. When you pair the seated hawk up with the elegant rose, it's a very, very powerful dynamic because then the woman, she knows the beginning and the end. And she's starting to see her powers and what she's capable of. And so, she may not know the steps in between, but she starts to see that certain things, I don't need to be doing those things. She knows that that certain things she should just stop doing. And she sees this for herself through the seated hawk. And she's not going to stop everything, but that's going to start her rethinking a lot of her behavior and activities. And she's going to be like, I can kind of see where that's going to take me if I do that. So maybe I'm not going to do that no more. So when the woman starts to bring that seated hawk online, then she'll start to listen to the man. Because if you tell the woman why you're trying to tell her something, but she just can't see it. See, half the time she's not going to listen, even if you're telling what is practically the best thing for her. When that cedar talk is online, well, she's going to start listening because she's going to be like, okay, I want as much input as possible to see if what I'm seeing is really that's what's in the mix. And then she can analyze what you're telling her in a whole different way. And then she's, if your facts are based on facts, she's definitely going to start listening to you. And she's not gonna be mouthing off and telling you all this other stuff because she's like, I can confirm this with my own radar. And I can see myself that okay, there's something funny there. And so if brother man is confirming that with what he's telling me logically, I better listen. Um, and that it's just the way nature made it.
I've seen both types. I've been fortunate enough to see, and I could think of, and I see their faces. They never had a problem. The first one, what do you call it, the rose? They never had a problem getting or holding a man. And when they come into a room, the men just energetically are accommodating and protective of her. I've seen that firsthand. And it's an amazing thing with frequency. And she did love her dad. And it's almost like she had a vibration that came from them that men know that she really loves the male principle. And the hawk, that hawk is, I would call those are the real, in my experience in meeting them, those are the real witches that like you said, they can't be contained because they got access. And it's an
Yeah,
amazing thing to observe, fam, when you run into that kind of cultivated feminine energy. And some of them have it natural. Like I remember years ago, I took my girlfriend over to meet a individual, and I'm just going to call her me for now, just for short, because privacy. And within minutes, Master Yao, family, brothers and sisters, she had my woman working for her. And she was just sweet. And you know what she told me? In her early 20s, she was a madam. And she had a posse of women working for her. And she never was butchy. She was very feminine. But there was something about her energy that made women work for her and bring her the money after they did their labor. She was literally a natural born madam. And I know her to this day. And she don't have a problem having men. And the ones that are been raised in a healthy way with their fathers, they don't have problems with having a man nor being having male associates, but at a distance that's respectful to her husband. And then there's also the spoiled daddy girls. I don't know what classification they go in, but the ones that never had their father tell them no and teach them the right thing, they really became, they just abuse their beauty, their femininity, and they can't hold down a man to save their life. It's just like a revolving door. So I don't know what classification that is, Master Yao.
I mean, if each of the four archetypes, the problem is that women gravitate to just one, the one that they had in their first puberty, the one that was the dominant one when they became a teenager.
Mm.
Parents are supposed to try to get them to get a little bit of all four before they're 21. And this is the bane of our civilization, that we don't know this. So, if the woman has a little bit of the other three, let's say she's got that moon in there, and that's the main one, she's going to tend to have the faults that a woman has when she only has the moon and nothing else. So that's going to bring you a certain types of faults that we can predict.
We got one just came in this. Bob was talking about it. That she just came on the show.
We talked about that in the book. And so each one has certain faults that they're gonna demonstrate. The problem is most women, when they're 25, they've got that fault that goes with that archetype, and they keep it all of their life. They never get rid of it because they never evolve. They never grow. And so they think they're good at this. Good at the treasure chest. They're good at the shopping and the money and all that stuff, like the status. But if you don't have the other three with it, it becomes a curse to you.
Yeah.
It's a portal through which your failures come and why you lose men and why things go the way that they go. If a woman can every year add a little bit of just one archetype, not her primary one. If her primary one is treasure chest, then every year for 3 or 4 years, she wants to just add a little bit of one to what she's got. She'll be okay. Because the more she gets of these other archetypes online, it's going to make that the primary archetype much, much better and balanced. And then the problems that she has will start to fade. But like you say, all of them have strengths. But every woman really, if you really want to know the real boss babe, is the seated hawk. It's that woman. It's not the beauty. It's not the mother. It's not the matriarchal, who has all the money and stuff. They are subjects. The queen is that seated hawk. That is the ruler. That is the matriarch of women. That is the true one. If she gets that online, and that's not pretty, that's not cutie, that's not Miss Cutie Pie. No, she's not worried about her goddamn nails. She don't give a damn about no nails. She don't she don't care about that kind of stuff. She wants to rule the whole colony. She's not trying to just attract one man and she, walking down the street and she wants him to look at her. No, she don't care if you're looking at her or not. She's trying to rule the whole colony of bees. She wants to be the head of the town. She wants to control the budget of the whole state. When you're looking at the seated hawk, she's not playing for small. She's shooting big. And, she believes that she is God. And to an extent, she is.
Powerful.
Yeah. So, we have to teach them how to activate these things. Some women are going to misuse it. It does not matter. We still have to teach it, and we have to help them. We have to actually help them to show them how to activate it, because it's hard for a woman to activate these things without a man. And we've had greater success in Grand Trine, activating the men with the women. The women have stepped up, and the men will allow them to activate them. So we've had a lot of success. We've had, on many different years, we've had those activation projects, and the women have stepped up, and they've helped the men to activate. We've done it in reverse, but not the same level of success. Women don't want to allow it. That's a whole nother conversation. But women have just been much more reluctant to let the brothers activate them. But there has been some, so we're thankful for that. It changes the whole world. If you get the activations and you start really bringing that stuff online, the more you bring online, the easier it is to bring the rest of it online. And up there to a point, women realize it doesn't matter how they look. They can get men,
It's energy.
Seated hawk, and she knows what's going on in the light body realm and in the astral realm. She just knows stuff about the man that he doesn't know she knows. And she's able to push buttons that other women can't push. She's going to get a man. There's not a doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, she's much more capable than the elegant rose, than the beauty. The beauty, has a great power, but you think that she's the one that's going to have all the men. No, men do chase her, and she gets a lot of men, and she loses a lot. And a lot of those men abuse her and treat her bad, and she doesn't always have the outcome that she wants. The seated hawk, that heifer right there, she's running shit. So she's going to get the things that she's going to end up most likely to have the outcomes that she's looking for. The thing is, to know the strength and to know how to do this stuff, how to get it, and what to watch out for, because there's evil that comes in with every last thing. And, she needs to really avoid that. But anyway,
That's excellent presentation, man. So, family, in summary, what Master Yao is speaking about is offering the workshop up and coming. Let me show it to you again. This is his website, Grand Trine. Bring forth your divinity. If you think you can, if this is how you do it, this is what Master Yao is doing. He wants to bring the goddess out of the various sisters out here. And if you're willing to invest in your own supernatural activation, Master Yao is here to give you the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s to activate the divine feminine. And the classes are coming up. Let me do this in beginning July 28th. Okay, this is the course so that you can activate your supernatural feminine and start and let go of the fake masculine. That's all we can say what it is. Begins July 28th, 8 sessions by Master Yao. And if you think you are worthy, and we know you are, you don't have to live in Atlanta. This can be streaming. Is that correct, Master Yao?
absolutely. And there's so many things, there's so many ways that women can get over. Like I said, I've been throwing the alley-oop up to the basket for these women for years, and they don't appreciate it. So it's like this weekend right now, you can get paid for being a table model. It's an excellent opportunity where we pay you to sit around, look cute. You don't even got to look that cute. Just let men experiment on you with the table work. And there's women there too. But there's always more men than women. And then when we have these events, we throw you the alley-oop because all you got to do is, these men are looking for women
To
that
practice.
they can partner with. Not just practice with. That's how you start. That's how you get to meet people. But when we take these trips and we do a lot of stuff overseas, these men are looking for a woman. They would rather take a sister with them. They'd rather get to know a sister. They would rather the sister be, like a partner, whatever you're going to call it. And then they're taking these trips and stuff. They would rather, have a sister that they know, that they're familiar with when they're going overseas like this. I mean, of course, if the sisters don't want to do it, they'll hook up with the locals. You can believe that.
Oh, yeah.
And, a lot of times there's other things that we do here in the States. And a lot of times, men will pay the way. They'll help out there. They want to get to know women. And the thing that's going to get you over as a woman is if the man sees you in these environments and you're trying to better yourself. As soon as you walk into the classroom, if you're a table model, if you're in the class, if you're taking the class, if you're doing a workshop, if you're doing a retreat, if you're doing just the podcast is free for the most part. For the you get a trial period, get a month or two free. You don't even have to pay for that. And sometimes you can get a situation. So, and it's only a few dollars a month, the podcast thing, if you do that. If you show up in the podcast, it's on Zoom, and the man sees you there, he's like, okay, this is not your regular run-of-the-mill woman. she's trying to do something. She's out there. She's trying to learn. She's trying to be. You're in already. All you got to do is not be stupid and not,
Yep.
be
Because
out here trying to beat all the men over the head. Well, you're all no good. Just chill on that for a little bit.
I noticed that you attract to your class what is known in social circles as what is it called? High. What's the phrase? High value men. I noticed that high value men are attracted.
Bunch of high value
High
men that's making money. These guys, when we start talking,
These are no broke dudes, sisters. If you want to meet some high quality men, this is the class. If you want to meet high quality man and you think you polished, or you want to get more polished, this is the class. Because I've never seen anybody pull together as many high quality men as I have when in your program, Master. I'm gonna say that right now. We start talking
about jumping on a plane, chartering a plane, and going to Dominican Republic. Everybody's raising their hand. We said, let's go to Thailand. Let's go to Panama. It's not a problem. These are not guys walking around broke.
Not at all.
They're not all angry at women.
Nope.
They're not all sitting around angry at women. No. They're not going to take a lot of BS. But if you're like, trying to better yourself, boom, you've impressed them right away. They're like, oh, she's out here doing what it takes to they're impressed. And they're going to listen to you.
I'm going to go so far as to say, to my awareness, sisters, this is the one house that Master Yao holds down, school, that you meet a collection of high quality men. This is the house that you meet high quality men. And I hope I said that clear.
The guys on there, I'm in 3 networks. And Grand Trine is one of them, but I'm in 2 other networks. And in all 3 networks, all of the men are like guys who can do things, who have agency, who are not stupid, who aren't running around doing a lot of stupid stuff. No, these are guys that's down to earth, and boom. And it's a lot of them are singles. Some of them are hooked up already, but I would say that's more single ones than married ones in there. And boom, it's the alley-oop. I'm telling you that.
Yep.
I've been doing this for women for 12, 13 years now. I give them the alley-oop, and all they got to do is just tip it in the basket. They don't got to do a whole lot. It's just tip it a little bit, and it's going to go in. They just standing there on the court looking. I'm like, girl, you better get up in there and put your bid into that joint.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up, Master Yao. Thank you for being here tonight. Again, I'm gonna share the flyer. Let me just. You see it? This is the first piece. I'm gonna put a little closing music on. Hold on a second. We have a little jazzy, snazzy sounds in the background. Hold on a second. Put a little something on. Yeah, this is family. This is the 2 programs that's coming up in July for sisters to be getting themselves polished for high quality man. The do's, the don'ts, the things that you should do, and the things that won't work. That's the trip that's happening at the end of the year, Master Yao. What is it?
In November the 7th through the 15th, I think it is.
Yes, that's it. And the classes for the women to activate.
Classes start in late July. I think it's July 28th.
Yes.
And it's going to run into August and September. And, it's the celebration of the 18th anniversary of the book. So, of course, any woman who signs up for the class is going to get a free book and so many other things.
Yeah.
And ladies who are in the Atlanta area, if they're within 1 hour, if they can get there in an hour, contact us. You see the email is the best way, or they can use something else to go to the website and say that they want to do table models. They want to do table model work. They just want to come in. You don't have to have on anything skimpy, but it has to be light. The clothing that you're wearing, you don't have to be naked or nothing like that. But the clothing that you wear, the fabric needs to be very thin, very light. It can make. We don't care if you can see through it or not. We don't care about that. We don't care what style it is. It just needs to be light, and that's the main thing. So that the table work is easy to do.
Table, work your way to a high quality man, sisters. And they're showing a lot of gratitude, Master Yao, on the show. You got a packed house, fam. I want to thank you again, Master Yao. Wish you much success as you are already doing. And family, tune in tomorrow, 8 p.m. with Jeff Noble. Again, thank you, Master Yao. Thank you, family, for joining us tonight. And we're out.